Good afternoon. My name is Mark Lency. I'm the skipper of Sunflower. We're on board Sunflower in cold, hostile Maine, and we are going to demonstrate the use of the personal AIS man overboard beacon and how it interacts with the ship's navigation systems. We want to emphasize that your takeaway from this should be that each of your crew members needs to test their brand of AIS man overboard device themselves with the navigation system of the boat they're going to be on, because the brand of the various devices and the version of the software will result in a different response on any of those combinations. And we'll go through on Sunflower here the McMurdo R20 AIS man overboard beacon and the latest Raymarine software. So that'll be our response, but understand this is going to vary on the vessels you're on, and that's why it's so important that each crew member understand how to activate their AIS man overboard device on the vessel they're in, and then the crew sees how that will play into the man overboard scenario. So although our crew here will not actually do the other actions of the man overboard, we're going to step through it in the sequence you're likely to see them, so you can overlay all that you're about to see on top of everything else that's already going on to recover a crew member that's gone overboard. So first thing that we think will happen in our scenario of a person going overboard who is no longer attached to the vessel is, while we drop our devices in the water and start positioning and slowing the ship and getting the crew on deck, one of the on-watch members will hit the man overboard button on our navigation system. We recommend each of your crew members try this. It's not quite what we thought the first time we did it. For example, we found on the Raymarine systems, although there is a man overboard button icon, it's very tiny print. So we went ahead and added a label on both of our multifunction displays, so it's easier for the crew members in whatever's going on to find that man overboard button. And turns out you don't just hit it. On the Raymarine system, if you just press the button, it'll simply put a regular waypoint in the water. You have to press and hold the button until the system reacts, which is about 5 seconds. So I'm going to press it and show you how the latest Raymarine systems react to holding the man overboard button. So I've pressed the man overboard button and I'm waiting 5 seconds. Okay, now it's shifted to the man overboard mode. You heard there's an audio alarm. It pops up a notice that I've got a man overboard, and I hit OK to acknowledge it, and it's reconfigured my displays. You see how it's zoomed in? And it's put across the top information about the man overboard. There's the man overboard icon, the latitude and longitude of the waypoint, the bearing and distance to the man overboard waypoint from the vessel, and the elapsed time since you put the man overboard icon there. So remember what's going to happen, and this is a very narrow range display. Amongst everything else that's going on in your cockpit, all of a sudden your multifunction display is also going to change its configuration. At this point, what we're going to do is show you the McMurdo AIS man overboard device, and then actually send a person out some distance from the boat and activate it so that we can see how the Raymarine system reacts. First off, the McMurdo one, and I believe all of them, come with a lanyard. Contrary to what we initially thought, these do not float. They sink like a rock. So you need to tie this to your PFD. Second is there's a right way and a wrong way to mount these on your PFD. This black band, and they all have it one way or another, is an antenna. In the McMurdo, this flips up to the 90-degree position, and that's what transmits your AIS signal. So obviously mounting this on your PFD with an antenna down, it will not function. You need to mount it in your PFD so that when it's activated, the antenna is free to come up on top of your, imagine I'm on my PFD here. To activate the McMurdo one, and again, this is why your crew members need to practice with theirs, they're all different. So the McMurdo one, the first thing I do is remove this orange safety key, which says pull, and now you see it says armed. And to activate it, I then slide this red part off. That will allow the antenna to flip up. This beacon, this is a light, will start flashing, and it'll immediately start transmitting an AIS man overboard signal, but without position. And we'll talk why that's important in a minute. Then when it gets a GPS position, it'll add the GPS information to the AIS signal. So this will be sitting on your chest. The antenna will be flipped up. This will be flashing in addition to the light on your PFD and transmitting. What we're going to see on the multifunction display, if the signal's strong enough in this test mode we're going to use, is first will be a signal that says there's an AIS man overboard beacon activated, but it will not have a position. Then when this gets its GPS position, it'll alarm again, and it'll put an icon on the plotter, and it'll give us the latitude and longitude. So we're going to pause the video for a moment here and send our crew member out away from the boat here to activate the test thing, and then we'll resume test this device, and then we'll resume the video. Okay, we have a crew member out away from the boat with the AIS man overboard device. Remember where we're at is we have the man overboard beacon. See the little icon there? That's our man overboard placed by our waypoint. It's been 4.5 minutes. We're so a little bit of distance away from where he was, and now the AIS man overboard device has been activated in the test mode on the dock, and we're waiting for that signal to start transmitting. There'll be a little bit of delay until your AIS on your boat, which is pulling hearing this every certain amount of time until it picks up that signal. So here's the AIS. This means the beacon has been activated. Notice it says no position information is available. Puts a little test icon on the thing. It says, okay, we got a man overboard in the water, but we don't know where he is yet. So I acknowledge that. Now the AIS man overboard beacon GPS has got a position, and it's put it in. And so there's the lat longe. On our crew, we have a couple of options on Ray Marine. We can, if we were an autopilot, we can go to waypoint. We decided we're not going to use that. But we decided we would, instead of just saying okay, we would place a waypoint where it is. So here's what we've got. We'll blow this up. Because it's a test signal, the Ray Marine system puts the same icon flashing red that is used for a vessel. Were this not the test signal, were it the real signal, the Ray Marine system puts the red SART beacon. It looks like a BMW symbol, only red instead of blue. So it's a circle with one quadrant red, clear, red, clear. And that would go there. In addition, there's the man overboard waypoint where the boat was. We also placed another waypoint where we first detected the AIS man overboard. The reason, and that's purely your choice whether you do that or not, we decided to do that so we could then start looking how the man overboard is drifting relative to a fixed point, which would be the waypoint we put in there. So that's how your system's going to look. Remember, this is on a Ray Marine test, AIS test signal. It's a ship. The real signal, it's the true SART symbol. You'll have to see how your system and your beacons respond and do it. This again is how the McMurdo works with the latest Ray Marine software. All right. So thank you very much. I hope this is a beneficial demonstration. Remember, everybody should every crew member should test their individual device that's going to be in their PFD in its test mode with the navigation system on the boat they're going to be on, because that combination, as you saw, will determine what the response is going to be. And your crew should all understand what's going on, because you can see on top of the everything else you're doing to recover the man overboard, you're now going to have a lot of stuff going on your multifunction display that's going to take some attention. Valuable information, but it's going to take some attention and understanding of what you're seeing. Thank you very much.